Beautiful Virgo, hello. This is your May 2017 reading, and I want to say thank you so much for having supported me so greatly in my last videos. You are really awesome, Virgo. It shows your beautiful, caring, nurturing, and supporting personality. You're the best, Virgo. I think you're my favorite sign at the moment because your energy is just so beautiful. Did I say that already in the last video? I don't know. Anyway, I have to say it again. So thank you. I really do love you, Virgos. It's really true. You're absolutely fabulous. And I don't know if I've said this before, but I have 2 planets in Virgo in my own chart. So that's kind of interesting. I've never paid that much attention to them, but now, you know, that I'm kind of getting a different view on Virgo in these last couple of months as I've been learning more and meditating more on your sign, and I'm so positively surprised. I mean, I already knew that Virgo is so interesting, so complex, and so deep, and every Virgo is so different, especially if you're an evolved Virgo or a Virgo who kind of lets his, I would say, instinctive nature gets away with him or her, right? But I'm discovering those Virgo aspects in myself, and you know, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. So, Virgo, thank you again. Thank you for your beautiful, lovely comments. You have uplifted me so much in my endeavor of starting this new channel on YouTube here. So you guys are great. Okay, I will stop raving. I'll stop raving about you now, and I'm gonna start the reading and see what the month of May has for you. Sorry if I look like my eyes are a little closed, but I didn't sleep much last night. I'm tired. My eyes want to close. I didn't want to look in the mirror and do all the little makeup stuff. You know, sometimes it's just, I don't have time for that. Okay. So you'll have to bear with me just how I am today. Tired, without makeup and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but the most important thing, of course, is what the cards have to say. And the messages that come through, we know the most important thing is the soul that shines through, and all the other stuff on top doesn't really matter so much, does it? I know it doesn't. Who wants to put a whole bunch of makeup on your soul anyways? I always think that if you plaster yourself and change yourself and try to be someone else, you're just kind of hiding, you're covering up your soul that wants to shine through in its authentic and natural way, right? That's what I think. Anyways, we're almost there, Virgo. We're almost there. We're almost there. There we have it. Going into May with this energy. The 5 of Pentacles reversed. Virgo, what's going on in these last few days of April? What have you been feeling? So, you see, I'm gonna put it upright to show you. What have you been feeling wounded about, or hurt about, or kind of cast out about? And what have you felt that you have lost? But since this card is turning around in May, it's going to ease up. It's really going to ease up. I think we had a little bit of this theme in the reading of April, but since we're going forward into May, it looks like all those difficult aspects of feeling hurt, cast out, even affecting your health. See, these people are kind of, they've got broken arms and legs. They're just feeling left out in the cold. Whatever that is, Virgo, it's easing up. As you're going into May, that's really going to ease up. Okay, so those things that have been weighing you down still probably are weighing you down, since we're not at the time of this reading in May yet. You'll get a breath of fresh air. You'll get an easing up of that. And let's see what's on top of that. Yeah, okay. You see, this is You feeling battered, still hanging on though, still hanging on, even though you're feeling battered, right? So these cards go together very well. This is card position 1 of the Celtic cross. This is card position 2 of the Celtic cross. This is what's helping or hindering the situation. So I think you're doing quite well, all right? Even though you've been battered and you've been through a lot, you are still solidly hanging on. You're not falling over, okay? You're hanging on, you're still being solid, you're still being faithful to yourself, you're still standing up for yourself, and that's really good, Virgo, all right? You have that inner strength to hang on and not give up easily. So going into May, feeling strong, hanging on, overcoming. But Virgo, look at this. He's still hanging on to that stick. He's not letting it go completely. What that means to you, let's see. Let's continue the story. Your hidden strength. Look at this, beautiful. With a hidden strength like this, with your secret power, showing that you believe in success, you believe in the good, you don't give up, you have the capacity to celebrate, have a good time, look at the positive side, and move forward towards success. This is like the attitude of really not giving up, really still believing in the good no matter what happens. And that's your secret power, one of your secret powers, Virgo, and this is really important. So this is a really great attitude or underlying power to have as you're going into May, especially to help you to release and overcome those difficult things. So since this is in the position of the hidden, it's card position 3 of the Celtic cross, which is hidden things deep down, things deep inside. Look for this aspect in yourself and you'll find it, and you'll draw strength from that, Virgo. Let's continue. Okay, just so you know, I use the Rider-Waite, not the most beautiful deck perhaps, but the one that works really well. It's like my workhorse, and I have programmed the cards so I flip them this way, so it's relevant if they're upright or not upright, right? Just to clarify that. The recent past, Page of Cups reversed. Okay. Page of Cups reversed, recent past. Virgo, it looks like there's still a missing piece that you haven't quite been able to listen to. This is your intuition whispering to you, and you really being open and creative and receiving those messages. And the Page of Cups reversed means that I have the feeling that you are listening to your intuition. You have a very creative part in you, but there's one missing piece that you haven't been able to quite get, that you haven't perhaps acted upon. And I think this has to do with your intuition and your insight, your deep insight. And perhaps that's why you kind of have been hanging on for a long time. So, Virgo, what's that missing piece that's in the recent past? What's the missing piece that you kind of know you have to listen to? That's a really important factor, but you haven't quite been able to get that and act on it, right? Okay, bear with me. We're going to develop this story, and in the end, some of these cards might make a little more sense. Okay. Wow. May, look at this. This is the forecast. And this is good. Okay, this is a card of bearing such a heavy load, and this is again a card of easing up that load, throwing off that load. That seems to be a theme, a motto of May. Going into May specifically. I mean, with these two cards here, right, the easing up of that hardship, hanging on no matter what, continuing, and again, a Wands card, the 10 of Wands, reversed, showing that you're definitely able to ease up that burden. So what's been burdening you all this time? What has been hard for you, Virgo? What are the things you have to let go of? Become aware of that, Virgo. A lot of things, like he's got 10 sticks. That's the highest number. That's, 10 different heavy things he's carrying that he's almost tripping over, see? But this is easing up. This is easing up this month. So I'm going to continue. I'll show you here, Virgo, right there. I'm going to continue laying out the cards and read them in the order that I like to read them. Next position of the Celtic cross, near future, and I will flip them over like this so everything is correct, right? This is your fears, outside influences, your hopes, and the end result in your present timeline. Remember, you have power over your future, over what you want to accomplish. You have power over your timelines. If you don't like what you see, then you must change something. Remember that. We're powerful creators, right? We are not little objects of destiny. So, the next card I want to look at, it's not this one, it's this one. I will read fears and hopes together, then this one, and then these ones. Fears. Oh, okay. King of Wands. This is a wow, okay. I got two different impressions on this one. Okay, remember, Virgo, there's many of you, and one card has to describe your experience and your energy. And I feel this can go both ways. Because first I got one impression, then I got the other impression. First I got the impression this is another person. That you're fearing the impact of another person because they are rather strong, they're rather outspoken, they are very fiery, perhaps a fire sign, don't have to be a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, not necessarily. It could be a person who is just very bold and outspoken, perhaps even to the point of being a bully. So that person kind of intimidating you in your path and what you want to do. The other impression I got, that the fear is you really becoming like this. Well, perhaps it kind of goes together, because to stand up to a person like this, you have to also be very strong. So perhaps you fear of, your fear is a little bit about taking a stand, being strong, standing up for yourself, speaking out, standing up to those bullying people out there. And, really moving forward. The King of Wands is one of the most active characters. I mean, he's sitting on his throne right now, but he's ready to move at any time. This is controlled action. This is controlled power. This is not haphazard. This is not someone going crazy. This is someone ready to take action anytime it's needed. I mean, this guy could get up and beat another person up if necessary. He's not afraid to punch someone, okay? And I think you, Virgo, don't have the tendency to do that, right? I don't think that you want to go up and punch someone in the face. But perhaps it's necessary sometimes, metaphorically speaking, right? Obviously. So either your fear of someone and standing up to them, or yourself taking that attitude of, this is enough, I'm going to stand up for myself, damn it, okay? You people, just watch out, I'm coming. Okay, you have to have this attitude sometimes in this life. All right, you gotta be strong. Okay, and all these wands, 1, 2, 3, 4 wands. Wands, the suit of action and fire and movement and doing things. So it looks like there's a lot of action that needs to happen this month. Because Virgo, I read these cards not purely predictive. I read these cards as possibilities that are coming in, necessities sometimes, and as advice, as you doing this to reach your goal, right? Okay, let's see the hopes. Oh, Virgo. This is the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Virgo, did we have this last month already? Why is there still a little tiny bit of self-sabotage happening? Virgo, beautiful Virgo. You're easing up on everything. You have to take a stand, but look at this. I mean, ideally, these two positions should be switched, right? You should be hoping for something strong and fearing a loss of power, but it's the other way around, Virgo. So that always talks to me again of not being quite strong and clear and pure in your intentions, that there is a little bit of hidden self-sabotage, and we all do it, Virgo. So this talks, just see how this resonates to you, Virgo. This talks still a little bit about, I'm just holding it upright to see the meaning of the card. This is a person who is really independent, who's not depending on anyone, who's built up her wealth and her independence, her empire, her strength, who's not afraid to be alone, to stand up for herself, and to kind of be completely responsible for everything in her life. Reversed, it's kind of a little bit of the opposite, or it's this card being blocked. This is someone who is kind of not taking responsibility, not stepping into her or his power 100%. So as this is in the position of hopes, you know, it's saying you're secretly perhaps hoping that you don't have to be 100% responsible, that you don't have to be so strong and so mean and so forthright, you know, still hanging on perhaps to some old belief system or something like that. So a tiny little bit of self-sabotage there. Of course, we don't all hope outright that we're not going to be rich and famous and stable and responsible and everything, but there's something like that going on. Something like that. And I think last month there was a little bit of that as well. But no worries. Remember, Virgo, remember, we should be happy when challenging cards come up, because what's the point of getting insight from a reading when it's just telling you, oh yes, and everything's going to be fine and you're going to be so happy and everything is perfect? We don't learn from that. I see the tarot as something we can learn from, something to give us advice, to push us forward another step. And you know, it's a tiny little bit like the tough love thing, or like a good friend giving you some advice that pushes you just that little bit further. That's how I see the tarot. So, you know, when these messages come up that kind of maybe make you think, what? No, that's not me, and how can you say that? And that's too negative. No, it's not. It's not. You wouldn't say to a stranger that you don't care about, you wouldn't say all these things. To the stranger you don't care about, you say, yes, everything's going to be fine, but someone you really care about, someone you want to succeed, you help them, you help them show up those things in their lives that need change, that need looking at, that need a hard look at, so that friend can transform. Okay, so I think when these difficult things come up, it's an opportunity to take a deeper look and say, okay, perhaps there is a part of me that doesn't want to take that responsibility. Perhaps there is a part of me that's just tired of standing up to these rude, bullying people. You know, perhaps there is a part of me that doesn't want to listen to that little voice of intuition that's telling me to do something, because, you know, oh man, it's difficult, it's weary, it's just too hard, right? So that's what I want to tell you, Virgos. You're so lovely, and I really want you to succeed, to go a step higher and further. Even if your life is really good, some of these points may help you move even higher, you know, reach another level, break another little barrier, and we all have them. I'm so aware of all my barriers in my life. It's incredible. Every day I try to see, what can I do better? What am I doing wrong? Where am I holding myself back? What are my underlying belief systems that are holding me back? I do so much self-development work. So anything that shows me perhaps another barrier that I have in there somewhere, I'm like, thank you. Thank you for somehow honestly showing up what I need to do. Okay, enough ranting here. Okay, let's continue. Now, outside influences. The Eight of Wands reversed. Virgo, it does look like there are some factors that are not extremely helpful. This is one of them. This to me looks so much like Mercury retrograde. And I mean, that's your planet. Mercury retrograde means difficulties in communication, in travel, in planning, in the fast movement, because the Eight of Wands means fast movement forward, a smooth ride, communication, internet, flying thoughts, all that, and that's reversed. So this is a bit of a Mercury retrograde card for you in May. We know that Mercury is actually retrograde until the 4th of May. After that, things should even out, but this card's not showing up for the 1st of May. This card is showing up for May. So that Mercury retrograde energy somehow is present for you in May, going into May and going further into May, and you just have to be aware of it. Because Virgo, with our intention and our knowledge, we are stronger and we can overcome any negative aspects, energies, people, anything. We can overcome anything with our intention. That's my strong belief. Okay, so know that there's some energies maybe wanting to stop you from receiving the communications, from making the connections, from traveling, from moving forward as fast as you want to move forward. Be aware of that, and then you can overcome that. If you have a feeling, oh, I know what this is, I know what this is, maybe it's this person saying, no, you can't go there, you can't do that. Maybe it's still some of this energy of, you know, some of your woes there that are still kind of holding you back a little bit. Perhaps it's that own tiny little part of you that's self-sabotaging a little bit still, hey? Perhaps it's those loads. I mean, look at another Wands card, hey? Did you notice? Another Wands card. Maybe it's those heavy loads that are weighing you down and stopping you from moving forward still, even though this is easing up, okay? So let's continue. Interesting spread here. You never know what comes up. That's why I love the tarot. You never know what's going to happen. Okay. Virgo, I have to open this card. Oh, Virgo, okay. Now listen closely, Virgo. This is important. This is important. The Nine of Swords, the near future. The Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords reversed, right? Reversed here. Near future. The Eight of Swords upright as a potential end result. Okay, so it looks like you are making all the efforts you can to throw off the worries. This is the absolute worry card. You can't sleep at night because you've got so much going on in your head, all right? Near future, it's easing off. You're throwing it off. Just as you're throwing off all these other difficulties. 1, 2, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards reversed, 6 cards reversed, and 3 of them are showing the throwing off of strife and woe and difficulties and burdens and worries and thoughts. So where have you been getting into these patterns lately? A little bit, Virgo. Think about that, and you are in the process of throwing them off. You are working hard at it. That's really great. It's good work, Virgo. A lot of people, they just go along with things, and they don't live very consciously, but you do. Now, it does look like the way you're going here, you will in May end up in a position where it'll be difficult. Okay, this is a position of not knowing where you're at. You're kind of a little bit in the dark. You still haven't made that breakthrough to move forward, to be completely free. So it looks like that is the end result card. But remember, I was talking about the timelines. In this timeline where all this stuff is happening, where you're being held back, where there's a bit of self-sabotage, where there's the King of Wands here holding you back, whether it's you, your attitude, or someone else. You know, every single card in this spread is a challenge, except for your hidden strength here. Except for your hidden strength, Virgo. That's the only one that's not a challenge. So, Virgo, we're not gonna stay here. What I'm gonna do, Virgo, to see how you can resolve this, I'm gonna draw a clarification card. I'm gonna draw a clarification card for the Eight of Swords end result to see what alternative timeline there is, to see what we can do to change this, because we're not gonna leave you hanging there telling you of all these difficulties and telling you that you will go out of May still in the dark. I know it's all a process. Everything is a process. I know that last month, April's reading wasn't the easiest, and it looks like May, you're going into May with some difficulties there as well. But, you know, we are powerful and we know how to step into our power and change what we don't like, right? That's why we have the cards. So I want to know for Virgo. So Virgo, I'm going to draw 3 cards, 3 advice cards to see how we can get out of this mess, okay? Let's see. I'm shuffling the cards really well because I want to know. We want to know what Virgo can do to throw off all these problems, to move forward fast, to counteract Mercury retrograde, to step into Virgo power. All right, are you ready, Virgo? Let's see. Three clarification cards. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look at these cards. Virgo, here you go. Can you see these cards? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put them on top here. So this, Virgo, is what you have to do for an alternative result to do things better. The first one, of course, that really springs into mind is the Devil. All right, now this, I could talk an hour about this card. This card comes up when it's necessary, when it's really necessary to look at what is oppressing you. This means there's one main oppressive force in your life. This is the absolute blockage card. This is the card like oppression, oppression, oppression. So it looks like there is a force in your life that is somehow oppressing you. This can be a person. This can be a addiction. This can be a mindset. This can be a subconscious, super negative program. This can be an extreme cycle of never-ending worry that makes you feel like this. And look at this card. Look at this card very closely. I mean, I'm sorry to make you look at this, but it's an ugly card, I know, but this is so important. Just look at these people here. These people who are being oppressed, that is you. They don't look really unhappy. They're like, okay, no, they're just kind of hanging out, going on with their lives because they're not really looking behind them. They're not looking over their shoulder. If she would turn around, what do you think she would do? She would go, ah! She would run. She would like move as fast as she could and do anything to get rid of this huge beast on her shoulder, on her back, behind her, you know, kind of looming over her. It's horrible. So, Virgo, whatever this is, and we all have some sort of small or big devil, okay? Most of us have something like this, and if you don't, it means you're very evolved, you've gotten rid of it, but you have to have to take a look at this, Virgo, all right? Because, and you know what? I think you already know what it is. When you first saw this card. So, what is this for you? What is that oppressing force that is making you blocked, that is keeping you, holding you back? What is it? Pinpoint it. Use your intuition. Meditate a little bit on this. But I bet you already know. When you first saw this card and I said oppression, and I said some of those things, I bet something sprang up in your mind that said, yeah, sometimes it's just a small thing. I'm not saying all of you have got this gigantic, horrible person who's like keeping you chained in a jail. It can be a small thing, like the constant nagging worry about money, perhaps, all the time, all the time, all the time, or the constant nagging worry about security or your relationship, or that, I don't know, that you go play the lottery 3 times a week and it's an addiction. You can't stop and it's seeping your money out of your pocket. I don't know, that those are some examples of what this is. But you have to, your homework, take a look, deep look within, and what is your devil? Sorry to say that word, I don't like that word. This is the ugliest card, but it's the most helpful card. And you know what's strange, Virgo? Yesterday I was meditating on this card, and I'm going to make a video about this card because this is one of the most important cards to come up. If it comes up, it's such an important and a clear message, and that's why I actually like it when it comes up, because understanding this card, understanding who or what this is in your life, understanding what it is, and then really looking at it can be the most transformative message in the whole tarot, okay? Understanding your oppressive force in your life, whatever it is, and getting rid of it. Once you look at it, you're going to do everything in your power with body and soul and emotions. You're going to do everything to get rid of it, to work at it, to go to any type of therapist, to go to the doctor, to go talk to your friends, to move away, to just close it, let it out of your consciousness, let it flow away, attack it head on, do anything you need to work on this. That's your homework this month. Okay, now other cards here. I see that there is an offering. You're being offered an opportunity to do this, but you're not seeing it, all right? There's an opportunity for you to get rid of this, to work on it, and you are kind of turning yourself away. You're saying, oh, I don't want to see it. No. Okay, so keep your mind open. Look at what it is that's oppressing you, that's holding you back. Open yourself to the help that's being offered. And again, it can be in form of many things. It can be in form of a person. If you have an addiction, every day you walk past an addiction center and you look and you're like, I'm not really addicted. But maybe you are. And maybe this is you walking in there and talking to that person. Maybe it's a good friend making a comment to help you with something. Maybe it's meditating. Maybe it's asking your angels and guides for help, and they have been giving you little tips of what to do. Maybe if you are in an oppressive relationship, it's that aunt in the countryside who says, you can come anytime and just go. You know, nobody has to be oppressed. You have the right to be free. Okay, especially if it's another person, and especially if you do have a choice. Sometimes people don't have a choice. And it takes a long time and a lot of hard work and a lot of courage and difficulty to get away. But most times we actually do have a choice. So take that help. And the third card, the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Seeing how that fits in with the other cards, because this is, you know, this is an interesting story, Virgo. Tarot is unbelievable. It's not me, it's the messages coming through the cards. So if you don't like a reading, if you're not satisfied, if you think it's too extreme or boring, it's the cards. And remember what you see when I first go like this and you think, then take that take it before you take anything that I say, because your intuition, remember here, your intuition is telling you something, is whispering. Intuition is often not like a big booming voice saying, you must do this. It's this little whisper, this little idea where it's just a thought that fleets by and you're like, oh, and you toss it, right? So any kind of little whisper of intuition, a flash of tiny insight, even if you dismiss it in the next moment, that's probably the important thing for you to take from this. Okay, so coming back to this shows someone not being satisfied of the work they've done. That comes to me right now. This is someone being super critical. I've got this beautiful harvest, but maybe I should have done it better. I'm not satisfied. This isn't good. That's what it means for me right now. So, Virgo, it looks to me that you've got to take pride. Take pride in what you've done and what you've accomplished, in the beautiful person that you are, of the garden that you've grown. You know, be proud of it. You know, be a little more self-confident. You're beautiful people. You're incredible people. You're nurturers. Like I said in the beginning, Virgo is just such a wonderful sign. But do you see that? Are you sometimes a little too critical of yourself, of what you've created? So be more confident. And with confidence comes the power to reject those who tell you you're not good enough. With confidence in yourself and in your abilities comes the power to change, to say, I'm not taking any more of this crap, all right? And open yourself to help, okay? There we go. One last look at this spread. Virgo, quite a ride here that the tarot has given us. I hope it really made sense to you. I hope you got just a tiny fraction of insight from this, Virgo. I really do. And I believe that these cards are telling you that it's time, it's really time to throw off that oppression, to throw off the worries, to throw off the burdens, to throw off the worries and troubles, and to be more self-confident, to throw off the bullies, to not be affected by this Mercury retrograde type energy. It's time to do that, because you deserve more, and you can do it. So be happy that this is showing up for you in May, Virgo. Okay? Be happy, be glad. Don't say, oh, that's such a negative reading. It's not. It's not. It's a good reading because it's showing you, because Virgos, you're great, you're wonderful, you're successful. You who are listening to this might be like on top of your field, like at the very top, but still you might not be super happy. You might still be having these feelings. You might still be feeling, perhaps even being a workaholic could be this that's not letting you be happy. Who knows? So be happy that this reading came up like this, and use it to move forward in your life. Thank you, Virgo. I love you guys. You are beautiful. You're wonderful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a comment, and I will be opening my private readings soon. I know I say that go here for a reading, but I haven't done it yet because I haven't felt ready to open myself to private readings to the big World Wide Web. I've only done it person to person up till now. So I'm going to jump in very soon with private readings for you all over the world. Okay, have a wonderful May and do it. You could do it. Okay, bye.